I feel like Chance would be helpful in this whole. I'm trying to get rappers to start a union. Don't you think we need a union?
Yeah, I used to be talking about that a lot. I feel like you damn near were on an email with me with like Janelle Monáe and a bunch of people like 3 years ago.
Joe doesn't check
Rhapsody.
his email.
You
I
rock
would
with
have, and I
Rhapsody?
definitely would not be on an email with you and Janelle Monáe.
Do you know? Do you fuck with Rhapsody? She was like one of the main people trying to.
I love Rhapsody.
Yeah, so like we were all trying to do that.
What were those conversations about? I mean,
trying to just create like a form a union around like recording artists. It just never formed.
We should form.
Well, it's not
it.
too late.
Yeah. Get out. You niggas got to leave Chicago and help out with some shit.
Take one meeting and
Chance is doing all he can in Chicago.
Yeah, I gotta be in Chicago.
Yeah, he's doing everything in Chicago.
Everybody.
Yeah.
The truth is, it can't work because niggas are in deals. Like niggas don't own their own recording. Like that's why I'm independent, not because I didn't get no help. I'm independent because I own all my recording rights and my publishing rights and distribution and everything.
Except for the 3 weeks that you let Apple own it.
No, I still owned all that stuff in that same time.
That was our debate on this podcast.
No, I went, and
ago.
that was a part of the reason why I wanted to go on Everyday Struggle. I didn't at the time because I don't know, I didn't want to be on the show. But
Hey,
That's real shit.
come on this one instead.
I just didn't want to be on the show.
gunshot
but
there.
I'm on this show. But I'm on this show because I would love to discuss that. I think that's super important because there's hella people that's watching your show right now that haven't made that decision yet, and they could benefit from hearing us talk about it.
But do you think that this union couldn't be inclusive of some of the people in deals? Like
They don't. What can they bring to the table? What can they say that they're not going to do or they will do when somebody else controls literally their voice?
Shit.
No, see, and that's where the good old Joe Budden, a contract means nothing theory comes into play, because no, they control what your voice records, but they don't control your actual voice. So I'm of the belief if these niggas just not record a thing, just go on strike like the bus niggas do,
strike,
like the teachers do, then they would yield a little more power. No. And I think they would have something to offer to that type of movement with that power. I think the labels would get down and lay down rather quick.
The thing is, that's like the immediate action of like me going on radio and being like, yo, fuck the labels, fuck blah, blah, blah. I'm talking if I was a signed nigga. Like, oh yeah, like fuck the labels, they got me doing this.
But you don't.
We trying to do all that stuff.
Okay.
But they own not your current action and your voice in terms of you trying to get on a show that one time and say how you feel, but they own your voice in terms of like your old recordings and how you pay your bills and how you ask for more advances and how you ask to be put on tours and how you ask to be put on radio to promote your single. So once you go on and you piss off whoever actually has your contract, and who is a good example of this is my friend Jeremiah, a lot of the shit that happened to him and his Late Nights album, the reason why that shit took like 6 years to drop is because he wasn't fucking with Def Jam, and that was public. And
you don't have to tell me about
him,
artists not fucking with Def Jam.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, there's a lot of artists that feel that way.
Jeremiah
I have my
swear
own relationship with Def Jam, and I'm not even signed to them.
What relationship do you have with Def Jam and why?
Good music.
I'm a rapper, yo. Who was on my album? Justin Bieber.
And that's get all these niggas cleared.
2 Chainz, Lil Wayne, Kanye West. I could go down the list, but it's a lot of people on my last album that were.
What would you say to the people who would love to hear you with like lyricists? Do you purposely avoid lyricists?
He had Jay Electronica.
I was going to say Jay Electronica, Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz. Those aren't lyricists.
Yes.
Who's a lyricist that you would want to see me work with? Because I probably would be down for that shit.
Let me think. Let me think about that.
3 Stacks. If you still want to do that track, I'm here, yo.
Fam,
He live in Soho.
He lives in New York?
He just be walking around in Soho every day.
And I thought he lived in Atlanta. I always be hitting his old number when I go to Atlanta.
Hate niggas like Rory. Niggas that just tell people where people
No,
live.
I mean, that's been the internet running joke. Everyone runs into 3 Stacks every day.
I did.
For real. It's a joke, like a running.
Internet.
I'm the only person in New York
does he really
City.
live there?
Yeah. I'm the only person in New York that has not run into 3 Stacks in front of Top Man
I definitely
on
saw
Broadway.
a picture of a girl that ran into 3 Stacks in New York.
He just be walking around Soho.
He walks 34th Street all the time.
Really?
I literally.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling his
saw him in
address,
front of
Joe. This is like an
Victoria's
internet
Secret
thing.
on 34th Street.
Oh, I had no idea. I apologize. Oh, I need a 3 Stacks verse.
Oh, thank you.
You're not a rapper.
Chances-
we all?
Wait, hold on. He's not just rapping on
I
Broadway.
wouldn't rap. I would just play the verse in my head.
Hold on. Let's talk about the independence thing, because I think that if we don't talk about it, it'll just be like.
I was trying to let you off the hook, man.
Don't let me off the hook, please.
You're not independent. You weren't independent. I understand what you were saying. But you're not independent. You are misleading and misguiding the fucking kids with
Please
your
do you-
semantics.
Do you want to explain why you say that?
Oh,
I tried,
come on.
I tried,
Come
Chance.
on.
This
knock
is
it
we've
off.
been
been
waiting.
down this
They've been
pathway.
waiting for
Knock
this.
it off.
They've been waiting for this though. We need
people
a
here.
we need a
Tell us why.
explanation behind this whole
what
shit.
does the word? Oh man, your friend done ate a pretzel now.
His hood is still up.
Yeah, she grabbed some popcorn. What does independent mean, Chance?
I was just saying a second ago, to me, it means an artist's ability to own their masters, to own their publishing, to work everything in-house and create their own team. That's, to me, what it means. And so for any
But that's
artist,
not what happened.
what happened?
You got preferential treatment from Apple. That wasn't your in-house team.
It's a business
What was my
deal.
preferential?
That's a partnership.
What was my? Can you say the word again? Preferential what? Preferential treatment.
Yes.
What does that mean, though?
It means that normally Apple's product placement is algorithm based. It wasn't for yours.
What is what does that
All right,
mean?
I'm
though?
sick of Chance.
No, I just want to know, because there's people that you're saying this to also that are watching it. There.
It means that the data is responsible and solely responsible for what you see and where you see it.
For example,
let me just say-
if I like
Right.
if I
Let
like
me just
hip hop
say-
music,
So, now he's raising his hand.
no.
Got
I
this
just-
nigga on the fucking ropes.
No, you
Let me
don't.
just-
What do you say?
Let me
What
just
do
say-
know?
you don't. It still has nothing to do with independence.
I didn't
Let me
finish.
explain it to you, Joe Budden. Let me explain it to you, because you haven't had to
Does a
deal with this
billboard make you
probably
not
in a long
independent?
time. I'm gonna explain it to
Yeah,
you
I'ma
how it
fuck
works.
Chance up.
I'm gonna explain to you how it works. Any artist that has any kind of tick, that's Chicago slang for niggas know who they are, can call Apple before
hard
they
work.
release a track, whether it's them or their management or their agent or their label or whoever. They can call Apple and say, we want to be on the front page. We're about to drop. They could upload it.
I still don't understand how that doesn't make you
Why
independent.
does
Joe.
he walk out
I
of
have no
internet?
idea how that doesn't make you
Joe's bugging,
independent.
man.
Wouldn't it be crazy if I had
Joe.
Takeoff and the Migos waiting right there for him at the door?
No, but in that way, like if I buy it, this is what I've been
We
saying in
should've set
our,
up
for
the
our 3-year
camera
debate.
right over there.
How does that make him not independent?
Joe, that's
How?
accurate.
It's mad accurate
I'm done with Rory.
because we've
Let me
had this
talk to
debate for 3
Parks.
years.
Yeah, talk to me.
Yes, Parks, it is accurate.
Right.
Chance, please don't interrupt. So now let's help me walk through this.
Okay.
Maul's artist.
Uh-huh.
Maul got some tick.
He's popping.
Calls up Apple.
Pause.
Sure.
Tell me how it goes.
Is he popping?
He's got some tick. I said he's got tick.
They'll put him on the front page.
I don't understand where that doesn't make you independent.
Is that little? I'm
Chance,
you buy a
Chance,
billboard in
Chance.
Times Square, don't make you
figure out
not
what he
independent.
does.
Rory, I don't
believe
need
about
you to continue to co-sign everything he says. Chance, that is not true. Artists with tick can't just call Apple, say, this is what I want, and then that's what's happening.
No.
Your
No,
coloring book
no.
stayed there for 9 months. Because you have it.
9 months where? That's what you got to understand is you don't tell them exactly what you need. You could ask them for shit and they'll give you a counter offer. But there's a million different places that they could put you. I just put out 4 tracks around the same time as a bunch of people dropping shit that I didn't call them for until 2 weeks
when
before.
you were defining,
and they could only put me, hold on 1 second. They could only put me in hot tracks. But they have a million different things they'll offer you. They'll say, we'll put you in A-list hip hop. They'll say, we'll put you in hot tracks. They'll say, we'll put you on the front page. We'll give you a slide. We'll put you on the browse page. There's literally a million different things that they could offer you.
I want to get back to your definition of independent, where you said, me and my in-house team.
Yeah.
So when
because I didn't have to have somebody from Def Jam call anybody up. I didn't have to have any. I had the niggas that I paid.
you called your partner,
I called
who has a community
with,
of 900 billion people, and said, this is what I need.
Well, check
and
this
they
out. Here,
obliged.
check this out.
So
Check
I
this
say
out.
let me talk. So I say it's misleading, Chance, because there's some kids out there that need to know what independent really means.
And I will tell them
there's some
right
kids
now.
out there that
I'm going to tell them right now. Independence means with an in-house team, you own your own masters, you own your publishing, you do all your own distribution. All I want is for kids to grow up and not understand they need that crutch. What you're doing,
that's why I can't argue
what you're
with you,
doing,
because
listen,
that's
Joe,
correct.
what you're doing is trying to nitpick because you feel like I'm trying to wear it as some badge of something that is like
that's what you did.
exclamatory of,
That's what you did.
who I am. Well, it
You
is
did
'cause-
that.
Well, it is because I'm very specific. I'm the first nigga to do this successfully. So I have to show a bunch of kids that they could do that shit. You trying to tell them that they can't do that shit is counterproductive, and you're feeding kids into the system.
Tell me what I said kids can't do.
You are trying to tell them that I'm not independent. You're trying to tell them that they can't even call Apple. You can call Apple. Matter of fact, it's niggas that think they can't even get their shit on iTunes. My album wasn't sent in an email to Apple. I still had to use TuneCore. I implore you to use TuneCore. I implore you to use different distribution softwares and get your shit everywhere.
Damn, you
and
use
nobody has
TuneCore?
to take any money from you. How much percentage do you think Apple got from my coloring book songs?
No idea.
Right. It ain't no percentage. I pay into it, just like everybody else that uses TuneCore. So I'm saying I basically use the platform.
I also don't think you're about to tell me the splits either.
No, well, I
So,
thought that I was being
that means-
cool. I thought I was being cool, and it may have seemed needy or like I needed to explain too much. But a long time ago, I told people what it was. I had already had coloring book made. I didn't have Apple
remember
pay
you
for
said that.
my coloring book for my shit to get made. I didn't have them call up any artists to get on my shit. I had a project ready. They actually, let me give you a little bit even more foresight into it. The whole Drake Apple deal, which I feel like is closer to what you think my shit is, was offered to me first. Drake had a deal maybe with Apple for a long time where he was their main artist. And he put up a couple projects on it for exclusive. And they gave him way more money than they gave me. But I get it. Drake's way bigger artist than me. They offered me a long time ago to do 2 projects with them. And it would have been Surf and Coloring Book. But they wanted a solo Chance project. And I didn't have that at the time. I was working on Surf. Surf is a project I made with my band. And I'm not even really on all the tracks. So you can understand why they wouldn't want that or throw the money that they gave to Drake at that.
Got it.
So I made Surf. I still was able to convince them to put it up for free in their store, which is the first time they ever did this. This was before Apple Music came. But they told me in the meetings, there's something that we're gonna drop that's gonna be crazy. It's gonna take the old iTunes library, it's gonna put that shit in the trash. Like, this is the new thing. And it was Apple Music. I didn't know about that shit at the time. I finished Coloring Book.
Right
and
on time. Huh?
no, it was too late. Because if it was on time, I would have got 20 million. But it was off time. So I got 500,000. And the 500,000 was in the midst of what they called the streaming wars. So all these different platforms were fighting to put content on their website for a certain number of weeks first. So Frank had did something like that. All the title artists had did stuff like that. Spotify started doing it. And they were doing these exclusive 2 weeks time where the only people logging those streaming hours and money were coming directly to their platform.
Do you think that helps? Not to cut you off. Do you think that helps or hinders an artist?
I think it helps an artist, but they have a truce going on right now where there's no streaming exclusive places anymore. So basically, they wanted to do a 2 weeks exclusive, which they did with a bunch of artists, with me being probably the best person that you could do it with, because my shit hadn't been on Tidal up to that date. My shit hadn't been on Spotify or Apple Music up to that date. So they came to me, they said, here's some money, which I used for advertising, and we'll put you in a commercial, in 2 commercials during the NBA Finals. And that was what it was. Now, if you're an artist who's still independent right now,
and tell Spotify we need to be in the NBA Finals.
If you're an artist, if you're a young
Stars up
artist and
there.
you're watching it, hold on. If you're a young artist and you're watching this and you believe that in order for you to keep your independence, and that's something that you hold dearly, which I think you should, that you should not do any exclusives with any streaming platforms, even if it's only 2 weeks, I say do that for sure. But I would say the most important things, whether you do a streaming exclusive thing or not, is keeping your masters and your publishing. because those are the type of things, that's your IP, your intellectual property, that when you die, your kids and your wife will have. And that shit is, it can't even be appraised. Like, that shit is limitless in terms of the money that it can make. Your imagery, all that stuff gets signed away in 360 deals, and you don't even know that. You think you're signing for an album or something. You're signing away your likeness. You're signing away your merch opportunities. You're signing away so many different things.
Yes.
So
Forever.
So if you think that I'm not independent because Apple, and I will say, you're right. Apple has a huge community of people that they're putting their music out to, but I personally believe, and you could believe me or not, that my shit wouldn't have debuted at number 8 if I hadn't done that. My shit would have been number 1. There was only one place you could get my shit from. If you know my numbers, I've done crazy numbers on live mixtapes and Dat Piff. I've done crazy numbers on SoundCloud. Imagine if Coloring Book had came out and it was on Spotify and on Tidal and on Apple Music and on SoundCloud the first day it dropped. I got rid of numbers and money that I could have got to do that. But I was thinking a way a lot of us think, which is I need 500K. And I did it. But also what it did help me out with, and I would have never done this, so let me be another one to point up to Jesus, who I rock with the long way.
I'm a point too.
I rock with Jesus the long way.
You better point. Point up, nigga.
Pointing, my bad.
Come on, Erickson. What's up with you, man?
If you know him, if you know his name,
That nigga
shout him
texts
out,
God, man.
If you know his name, shout him out. Hey, if
Look to your neighbor to your left.
if I hadn't have done it, I wouldn't have won any Grammys. And I say this because months later, after I dropped my project, it came out that now streaming only albums will be accepted. But here's the ticker. Only albums that have been on a streaming platform that's been verified by the Academy for over 1 year will be acceptable. So Spotify, which didn't get its verification until way later, wasn't on that list. So if I had, maybe if I hadn't done it, so all right, so there's an alternate reality where I did all the platforms, so I would still be eligible. But if I had just did it with SoundCloud, who I was in contact with, again, I'm a nigga that's on my phone. It ain't nobody else making calls. It's me or it's Pat or it's Colin.
You have a twin brother. Stop it.
But I'm saying,
What the fuck is he talking about?
no, my brother does look just like me. But I'm saying I made calls to Spotify, not Spotify, to SoundCloud and say, y'all haven't done this yet. Y'all need to join the streaming war. Y'all need to get in on this. These niggas are offering me 500K. I know y'all can give me 1.5, and then I could be where I started. Fuck with me. And they said, we don't have the money for you. I'm sorry, Spotify. Well, it doesn't really matter because Alex isn't even running that shit anymore. It's somebody else now. So, but all I'm saying is,
hey, next project, come call me, man.
I will call you about this Spotify shit, yo.
Hey,
Like, if you want to rap right now.
I'm gonna get you your
But
money
nobody's
from Spotify.
actually trying to do that. I was trying to do that with my 4 tracks. I called everybody. Nobody's trying to do the exclusive shit right now because they have a truce going on.
Yeah.
Where they're not trying to do streaming exclusives because they felt like it was fucking up the market.
Man, call me. We gonna get a Spotify exclusive.
Gonna bring the war back.
And we the throne.
We the throne.
Joe and Chance. It's a Wild Throne album.
We the throne. No.
Oh, man.
Fine. Forget it. All right. Well, that shit is really interesting.
So I want just to take a second to take it off of me, because I could be whatever it is. I'm not interested in being an idea or a spirit or anything that's here after I've left. I'm trying to go to heaven. Don't make no holograms of me. Don't try and use me as some type of martyr to lead any movement. I'm just me, and I say what I say when I'm saying it. I don't have to be the independent anything. I know that I am because that's how niggas have painted me, and that's how I've been trying to paint myself. But if you don't make it about me, I believe that artists should be able to do whatever they want to do.
Exactly.
But I think you should keep your publishing and you should keep your masters. At the end of the day, you should keep those things because those will be very valuable to your kids and to your wife. But if you want to do a Sprite commercial, because Sprite is huge. Sprite will get you a lot of fans. And Sprite will pay you some money, too, to be in those commercials.
Vultures.
If they offer that to you and they're trying to get to the culture, just know, I'm going to still think you're independent, yo. I'm going to be there right with you. I'm in your corner.
Chance, no, I agree with what you're saying. And I guess that was the realization for me. After a while, it was like, yo, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, if he's independent, if he's not independent, he's preaching the good word. So I can't knock down a nigga for preaching independence when that's all I've ever preached. I can't get more niggas preaching the right shit with more light and more platform to reach and then do that. So I stopped. Right? Y'all was there.
Yeah, you stopped after a
Yeah,
while.
I stopped.
But then you came
You
back
had
to
a hard
it.
stance at
Yeah,
first.
it was
though.
a year. It took like a year.
It wasn't
I'm
a
glad
quick
that you
stop.
said it because that's someone that I can respond to. I can't respond to everybody on the internet. Like
Right.
it shouldn't be about me. And so like I gotta take shit in stride. If niggas gonna call me an industry plant, that's cool. I feel like
Who has called you
Oh,
an
yeah, I'm about to
industry?
say.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm
Chance.
talking about y'all can't see it because it's on the internet.
Yeah,
Niggas is
no.
tweeting it directly
Well, we
to
on the
me.
internet
No.
too.
But they don't got a lot of followers, so I'm the only one seeing it.
Ah,
And they have
got it.
7 followers.
Got it,
But
got it.
I'm saying that shit, I'm reading that shit, I'm hurt as hell. I'm like, man, I'm about to write up a dissertation on why I'm not. But it's like, I can't really do that. So you giving me the platform to explain that and also to talk to people that, like, that's like a thing in our head is like getting discovered or getting put on is like a thing that we look for so much validation.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's literally the handcuffs on you. And if they're willing to give you that bag,
Yep.
like just know it's an investment. They can already see the bag that they're going to get beyond that shit.
Right.
For sure.
So I want motherfuckers to realize that shit and not be in the system because that shit weak as hell.